Hi, I'm Dax Ginn, Marketing Game Manager at Rocksteady Studios, and today we're looking at Batman Arkham City. The structure of Arkham Asylum is pretty different to the way that we've built out Arkham City, because Arkham Asylum was kind of very intense, very atmospheric, very focused on that cat and mouse challenge between Batman and Joker. In Arkham City, we wanted to really just blow out the game world. We've literally blown the roof off. So you can navigate the game world in any direction that you want, any way that you want, to really give you a sense of this kind of navigational power, this freedom of exploration that just wasn't possible within the confines of Arkham Asylum. So we've really redesigned all of Batman's navigation abilities, giving him the ability to glide off the top of buildings, drop him down into a dive, use that momentum to carve between buildings in Arkham City. That was something that we really wanted to offer players up as a core Batman experience, the ability to feel not just like the Dark Knight, but also the Caped Crusader. I mean, every aspect of Batman's abilities have really been redesigned for Batman Arkham City, because we wanted to create a sense of evolution in every respect from the way that Arkham Asylum ended into the beginning of Arkham City. So with combat specifically, we've basically doubled the number of combat animations that Batman has. We've also really ramped up the abilities of the thugs that you face in the street, so they can come at you with different weapons, they can come at you with multiple simultaneous attacks. Batman can take their weapons off them, use them against them. He can also use his gadgetry in combat as well. So what gamers are going to find is if they played Arkham Asylum, the initial phase of combat will feel familiar, but then as you get deeper and deeper into it, it becomes incredibly sophisticated and just totally awesome as well. The differences between Batman and Catwoman, I think, are really interesting, not just from a gameplay perspective, but also from a narrative perspective. When you're playing as Batman, you're the good guy, you're delivering justice. When you're playing as Catwoman, you get the opportunity to experience the game world from the perspective of a criminal. She's a thief, her objectives are not always morally driven. She's essentially using the chaos of Arkham City to get what she can get for herself. So, she and Batman differ in lots of different ways in terms of their ability to navigate the game world, as well as their gadgetry and moveset, etc. But I think the real interesting thing about playing as Catwoman is you get to kind of walk on the wild side a little bit. You get to go to areas of Arkham City that Batman would never go to. So her experience is different in a lot of different ways, but the thing that excites me the most is the kind of emotional feedback that you get from playing as Catwoman. Joker in Arkham Asylum was very much the focus of Batman's efforts. In Arkham City, the Joker's kind of on the back foot. He made some pretty dicey decisions in Arkham Asylum which have left him weakened at the beginning of Arkham City, and so that's really opened the gate to other villains like Two-Face or Penguin to step up and try and take that crown as kind of like the top dog within Arkham City. Bringing someone like the Riddler into Arkham City as an inmate who you physically get to encounter is going to offer the player a very different experience to taking down a villain like Two-Face, for example, because those characters are very, very different in terms of the way that they operate. I think the Rocksteady stamp, though, is really creating characters and interpretations of those classic characters which fit what we call the Arkhamverse. We've got this very gritty, very brutal, very raw game world, and we want to make sure that that the characters and the interpretations of these villains fit that. So someone like Penguin, he wouldn't last a minute within Arkham City unless he had a huge power base around him. So what you see in Arkham City when you take on the Penguin is you have to wade through a load of his thugs to get to him first. Whereas, the Riddler's trying to take you down using a kind of intellectual approach. So defeating the Riddler will require you to really focus on the kind of intellectual battleground. And that's the thing that I love about our interpretation of these characters, is they all feel very different, but they're all bound by this very gritty, pretty nasty, very brutal existence that everyone within Arkham City has to live by. The challenge mode really lies on top of the core narrative and then the additional side missions. So to take down all of the villains within the game in the core narrative structure is about 25 hours. To 100% the game by doing all the side missions as well is about 40 hours plus. The challenge mode is on top of that as well. So it's something that we established in Arkham Asylum, but we're really blowing out in Arkham City. So we want to make sure that players have got the opportunity to hone their combat skills, hone their stealth skills, but also explore multiple different playable characters. So you can choose to play as Batman, as Catwoman, or as Robin in any of the challenge maps. the desire from Rocksteady's perspective was to really dovetail the two games. So you start Arkham City with the same core gadgets that you ended Arkham Asylum with, but we've changed the functionality of them because Batman has been preparing for this inevitable day that he's going to go into Arkham City and kind of redesigning his gadgets to face the challenges that he knows are in there. So even though gadgets might be familiar to players of Arkham Asylum, the functionality is different. In addition to that, we've introduced a few new gadgets as well, such as a smoke pellet, which allows you to drop a smoke bomb and make a covert exit if you come across thugs who are heavily armed. We've also got some awesome new gadgets that we're going to be announcing pretty soon.
I've got a little surprise for you down there.
Solomon Grundy, born on a